If you're trying to lose weight on keto, then this is definitely the video for you, because today we're going to be going over the biggest piece of advice that we can give anybody when they're starting keto so they're successful losing weight.
If you're new here, Emily and I have been on a keto lifestyle since January of 2019, and we've lost a combined total of 160 pounds. But we've actually been doing a form of low carb ever since we were in high school.
Yeah, we have been doing a form of keto or Atkins low carb on and off, a lot of the time off, since we were like 16 years old. And we would lose the weight, and that was almost never the issue actually, but then we would always gain it back. Sarah and I have lost hundreds of pounds each over the last 20 years, and we have gained back hundreds of pounds too. And it all boils down to a couple of key points and why we eat the way that we do normally. And Sarah and I, we tell you guys that we like to call ourselves technically keto because we've made that up, that term. It doesn't really exist outside of like our little world. Right. Because we filmed these really incredible looking recipes and hacks, and they're kind of on the dirty side, but a lot of the time we balance that by eating very simply. And in order to lose weight, the key is to honestly eat very simply most of the time. And, you know, there are two types of people that watch this channel. There are a lot of you that are seasoned keto people who are looking to expand their repertoire of recipes or just watch like keto content in general. There's a lot of other people who are just finding out about this lifestyle or giving it a go for the first time. And the advice would be different to someone who is focused 100% on losing weight. That's all they care about, compared to somebody who has been living this lifestyle for years and is just looking to change it up with new recipes. If you are focused on losing weight on a keto lifestyle, then the number one piece of advice that we can give you is to keep it extremely simple. And that does mean it's going to be a lot more of a sacrifice than adding a bunch of different keto recipes that look really awesome and are super complicated and expensive to make if you want to lose weight and your main goal is that. Because I know that for me, I really didn't care what I had to do a lot of times to lose weight. I just wanted to lose it. Yeah. And, you know, there's a saying that's going around now called the Roman Empire. Like, what's your Roman Empire? If you guys are on TikTok, you've probably heard about this, but apparently a lot of people have been asking their husbands how often that they think of the Roman Empire, which I did ask my husband, Brad, and he said every day. He thinks about the Roman Empire at least once a day, right? And a lot of other people don't think that way. Like Sarah's husband is just like, I never think about that, you know, but my husband legitimately thinks about the Roman Empire at least one time a day. And I would say that my Roman Empire, because a lot of women are going around going, well, what's my Roman Empire, was to lose weight. Yeah. And I would think about that all day, every day, and I really obsessed about it in my mind. And so if you are like that and your only concern is to lose weight, then you have to approach keto differently than someone who has been on this lifestyle for a long time and is just kind of like, you're okay with your weight now. Because, you know, I don't really think all that much about losing weight anymore, which is crazy because I spent my whole life obsessed with it. I just don't really think about it all that much anymore. Maybe that means I'm content or have like
peace of mind a little bit around it.
It's just like either contentment or not that I've given up, but I've just like, I don't really obsess about it the way that I used to. So, you know, my idea of keto and Sarah's idea of keto is going to be different than someone who is just like, I need to lose weight. I need to lose it fast. I want to do it in the best way possible. And that would mean to eat as simply as possible. What we do is a combination of both of those things. We are dirty sometimes and super clean sometimes. And that kind of balance is what we've been missing in the past. That's why when we tell people, you know, if in order to lose weight, you're going to have to eat really simply, and that means keeping it under 20 net carbs a day, eating meat and green veg with butter on it. Like, you will lose weight. Your body knows what that is. Your body responds to that super well. When you eat that way, it is super hard not to lose weight because that's how we lost most of the weight. Our lifestyle is going to be different than your lifestyle.
Our current lifestyle.
Right. Our current lifestyle is relaxed because we are in that point in our lives, in our journeys, where we are relaxed about it. And it's just like second nature for us to eat the way that we do now. And the way that we eat now allows us to have all of these extras without gaining 20 or 30 pounds over a couple of months because we're relaxed about what we do. But the intention is different than someone who is starting keto for the first time. And that's important because we have two sets of audiences that watch our content. We try to cater to both, but the truth is that if you want to lose weight, if you eat meat, veg, butter, fat, and only eat that, you will lose the weight the fastest. And you probably wouldn't even have to count anything that you're eating.
Yeah, we didn't count much.
We never did count before. Like, people ask all the time, like, what do you hit? Like, what are your macros? We never worried about that. It's like, if I ate an omelet for breakfast and went in with a steak and green vegetables for dinner, I was going to lose weight.
There isn't one keto journey for everyone.
Right.
It evolves and changes over time. If you go back to the beginning of our channel, our first video ever even, you're going to see a totally different version of us than now. In the beginning, we were super clean. We recorded our meals. We weighed in every week, and it was kind of stressful, honestly. I don't miss that form of content at all. And if you want that content, it's there for you. It might not be on a good camera or anything, but we had tons of videos where we showed what we were eating day to day during the weight loss phase of our journey. So that might be helpful for you guys to go back in time and watch that. We also have other like really motivational videos that we did that we put a lot of work into that a lot of people say were life-changing for them. So we hope that those videos, you can kind of go back through that archive and kind of see the types of things that we were talking about back then.
At the end of the day, what we create on our YouTube channel, it evolves with what the audience wants. Unfortunately, that's how it is. So many people will say that the audience kind of moves their content into a specific direction, because if the audience doesn't click, then
you don't get views.
You don't get views. And so you have to keep on doing things where the audience will click on it. Now, I hate to say it, but like, people don't want to watch us make very simple, clean meals.
We've tried that.
We've tried in the past. And they want something that's interesting. They want something where they don't know if it's going to be good. And so we like making that kind of content because it is more like based on entertainment than it is on losing weight. But that's where we are in our lives. And that's not necessarily where everybody is when they come to our channel looking for content in which they want to lose weight. And it is really just that simple. If you eat meat, veg, and butter, you'll lose weight.
Yeah.
And if you eat meat, veg, butter most of the time, and then sprinkle in other meals where you get to, we make things like chicken Bellagio, or we deep fry chicken and put it on top of Imi pasta, and it's amazing. But we can't even eat like that every day and still maintain our weight or forget losing weight.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that we don't believe that all the keto products out there are amazing, but there has to be like some give. You have to take some stuff away to lose weight, and eating stuff that's high in calories all the time, high in fat. It's like at a certain point, we require a lot less nutrition now than we did back when I was 260 pounds.
Right.
It was a lot easier back then too to lose weight because I required so much more to sustain me at 260 pounds. So if I even eat less, which is what is going to happen if you start keto and you eat fat and meat and green veg, you are going to eat less than you did before. It might not seem like it, but your body just knows what it is, so it stops you. It's really hard to overeat when you're eating steak.
Yeah.
It is, after a certain point, you're just like, ew, I'm done. I can't eat another bite of this. That rarely ever happens to me if I eat carbs. I could eat endlessly. So if you want to lose weight, you have to keep it simple, at least in the beginning, because that is the key to losing weight on keto. And honestly, that was never our issue before. Like, we never had problems losing weight. We just knew that was the key to do it. We never had to count anything, weigh anything, track anything. It was like meat, veg, butter, oil, fat, whatever. I'm going to lose weight. It was keeping it off that was the issue, because we had like this all or nothing mentality with this lifestyle in which we would be very good for 8 months and then go off the deep end for 5 months, never stopping ourselves from eating. Step on the scale, I've gained back 50 pounds, 60 pounds.
Yeah.
Do it again. So weight loss is not like the biggest issue for us. It's maintaining the weight loss that's the problem for us. And so the advice that we give to people that are just starting is going to be different than the people who have been on it for years. If you want to lose weight, keep it simple. Don't even count anything. Just eat veg, meat, and butter, eggs, stuff like that. You will lose weight. You just will not be able to consume more at a certain point. It's going to be disgusting to you to eat more than that. And, we have all these pieces of advice that we used to give people, but honestly, that is the key, is to keep it simple. Don't obsess about being on keto. That was hard for me too. That's all I would think about, is what I couldn't have. We always said this before, is that you need to find a hobby.
Yeah.
outside of keto. Keto is not a hobby. Like, that just so happens that, like, we like creating content. So we kind of meshed the two worlds together, in which now we focus on this all the time. But the key for us is not to actually focus on the keto part of it, but the content part of it, making videos, having fun making videos. That's kind of like our hobby. It's an income. It's what we spend most of our time thinking about. But the keto part of it is not exactly the main focus. It's like having fun, creating keto recipes, and trying to see like what people are interested in about keto. And that's what we mainly focus on. So after a certain point in time, you will get used to living this way. I mean, I don't really think about it much anymore.
No.
So it's hard to, make it seem so easy when we know that our lives have never been like that before. But after years on this, you're just kind of like, okay, well, I am eating this way today. Maybe I'll clean it up tomorrow. I should probably be eating clean for the next couple days. And then your weight will just kind of
fluctuate
a little bit. It's like you won't be gaining 20, 30 pounds over the course of a couple months if you kind of balance it that way. But life is like really like that about balance. You can't have it all. You have to take it away some days and then indulge some days. And we always missed that balance before. It was always an all or nothing thing. It was always the extremes of either end. And now we've kind of learned how to balance the two. That's why we can do what we're doing. But if our main goal was to lose weight, our advice to you is different than to maintain that weight loss over years. You'll see people that can lose a ton of weight and then they just quit keto. I mean, because at the end of the day, I never thought that I would be keto forever. Mm-hmm. It took a long time to get to the mental place where I'm like, oh.
It took a lot of failure.
It took a lot of failure to realize that I have to eat this way, probably forever, in some capacity, to control that side of me that really wants to go crazy on the carbs. I can't have them because I always end up in the same spot. And once you realize that, it is easier to just say, you know what, this is the way I eat now. And this is the way I feel the best now. So yes, I have to say goodbye to things. But that kind of balance, I know it doesn't exist for people who are starting now or are really focused about the weight loss. You're not thinking about this long term, but in reality, that is the key. Because like I said before, us losing the weight was never the issue. We could do it because if I ate those three things, meat, green veg, and fat, easy. It's keeping it off that's the problem. And a lot of people are taking all of these medications now to lose weight, and they're gaining it back once they stop. And it's the same is true with this. We've had people ask us what our opinions are about all of that. Semaglutide and everything. I'm not against it. Hey, do it. If that's what you think is right for you and you feel like it helps you. But like understanding the mechanism of why you overeat or where you really need to control yourself is more important than losing the weight because you will just keep on gaining it back over and over.
You'll go back to the same place.
Right.
If you took that sort of stuff or you quit keto.
Right.
It's the same thing.
You will always come back and be back to the same spot you were before because Sarah and I did that for 20 years. And that's the unfortunate truth. You could give me a shot where I don't know how they work, but if that helps you in the beginning, that's great. But you have to realize once I get off this, once it stops affecting me in a certain way, I'm just going to gain it back because you haven't changed the fundamental behavior as to why you got there in the first place. It sounds so easy, but almost like basic and cliche.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's the truth. We've had a lot of like motivational videos on our channel. We've had a lot of like ways that we try to encourage people to like be more balanced about all of this because losing the weight is one thing, but keeping it off, that's forever.
A whole other bar game.
Right. A whole nother bar game.
It's a whole other ball game.
But that's even harder. You see, the journey, it starts there. Because now you will constantly need to maintain it forever. Losing the weight was like the first half of it. The second, you'll be in maintenance mode way longer than you would losing it.
Yeah.
So
it happens quickly.
Right. It happens pretty quick. Sarah and I, we will talk about this in like an FAQ that we're going to be doing. But like people always ask how long it took us to lose the weight. We lost most of the weight 10 months, 11 months in.
6 months.
Yeah.
8 months.
In 2019, Sarah was getting married, and so she started, and then I jumped on the bandwagon. And by the time that, I was like 262 pounds, by the time her wedding came around, I was like 189 pounds, 192 pounds, something like that. So most of the weight, it fell off really quickly because we knew, eat simply. That's it. Don't count anything. Just eat simply. Meat, veg, butter. But that doesn't make for fun content. We want to keep it fun and interesting and show you guys new products, and like, that's just the game.
And that's part of where we are with the journey as well.
Right.
We hope this is helpful for those that are just starting keto, or you're revisiting keto, or it's, the new year's coming up and you have a newfound motivation. Feel free to watch any of our beginning videos. We will leave a couple linked motivational videos that we really like.
Why don't you click one of these 2 videos where we worked really hard on them, and they're kind of like a touching, kind of emotional tribute to like weight loss. And we will see you over there. Anyway, I'm Emily.
I'm Sarah.
And we are the Keto Twins, signing out.